This channel supports Extra Life and is a proud member of Team BJO. For more information on how you can support our efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network, please go to this video's description and click the links to find out more on how to donate and support the cause. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This your boy Black Magus, back with another old gamer rant, and this one, this is one of those things that kind of bothers me about modern gaming and modern day gamers. One of the things I've spoke about before that I have an issue with the whole gaming community is the perception that there's not enough out there to play. There's not any games to play. I've always been on the side of the argument that says, hey, there's plenty out there to play. There's just probably not something that you're into playing because you're only into certain things. The flip side of that is that when you have people who are into a lot of different things, and I hear them say that, I think the problem with that, to me, is a problem with the way that we consume things in these days and times. This is a very fast-paced, high-energy, now era. With the way the internet has evolved things for the world, people are now able to access things at a quicker rate. Information is being accessed quicker. Knowledge, quote unquote, because I've said in a previous video, people aren't as smart as they think they are, is gained at a quicker pace. Things move a lot rapidly. Everything's a go these days. That's how it is. That's the type of society that we've become. Go driving if you don't believe me. The way people act driving, goddamn. Yesterday I was walking across the street and it was heavy traffic, and I saw somebody take the time to stop to because there was an accident or something, and there was only one lane on the other side. So I saw somebody stop to let the other side have a chance to get over and make a turn, because traffic was so heavy it was hard for people to do that. But this guy decided, I'm gonna let this person go because they've been sitting there for a while. Well, that person was kind of a little indecisive because they weren't able to see into the lane next to the person who stopped, because they knew that person stopped. That didn't mean the person in the second lane on that side decided to stop. But so they were cautiously pulling out, and within seconds you just hear a bunch of horns like beep beep, like hurry up. Like, damn, maybe 10 seconds had passed, but people were so impatient. People want everything now that, I can't wait 5-10 seconds for you to safely make your turn, homie. I need you to get out of the way so I can go. That's the reality of society these days. Everybody has to have everything immediately. And I think that's where the consumption issue comes into play with gaming, and why I think a lot of people have serious issues with things like delays. Me personally, I feel like a delay is worth it as long as the time is spent making a game better. It may be a game that I really, really want, such as Arkham Knight, such as Uncharted, which is now a 2016 game. And I'm going to be a little upset because I want to play it. Sure, I want to play it. These are two of my favorite franchises. So when Arkham got pushed back 3 weeks, I was like, oh man, I gotta wait a little longer and all that. But the reality is, if this is truly to do what they said and this is to improve upon what they're doing, I'm all for it. I take that. Even if you don't give me that excuse, just don't say anything at all, I'm just gonna assume that you're taking the time to make the game better. That's fine by me. If the game comes out, even if you're not, even if it is some business politics type thing, like we gotta wait for this quarter so that we don't step on this game, okay, cool, I'm with you in the fact that, hey, as long as you're going to release a finished quality product, I need to just sit back and chill out and relax, because hey, there's other things that I can play. And see, the thing is, I'm one of those gamers who, being older, having a lot of different responsibilities, having a lot of different interests, having work to do, things like that, I don't run through games like I would have when I was a kid. So I guess I have patience instilled on me because I can't get to gaming the way that I would have liked to. You know what I mean? So, hey, that's just me. But at the same time, you know what? You can wait a little longer for games, and you would probably not have as much impatience for games if you didn't beat all your games as fast as you do. And that's one of the things that I've noticed, is that now people will run through games like crazy. I know a lot of people don't think a 6-hour game is a lot, but think about the chunk of time, the 6 hours, especially as an adult. At least 8 hours of your day is spent at work if you are an adult that works. Now, if you have your own business, you might have a little more free time, although I seriously doubt that, because I feel like people who own their own business have to be more involved and spend a lot more time worrying about the ins and outs of the business on top of the daily regiment of the business, unless you're one of those people who are so well off where you got franchises all over the place and managers and stuff like that. Then yeah, you probably got a lot more time. But if you're a small business owner, you're probably spending a lot of time making sure that shit keeps running right. But let's just say, for argument's sake, you're just a person grown up with a job, so that's 8 hours a day during the week, right? To factor in weekends, okay, you could binge when you want, but we're gonna take weekends out of the equation because most games come out on Tuesday. So say you get a game on Tuesday, you work Monday through Friday. 8 hours of your day is taken from that Monday to Friday, and a game is 6 hours long, and you beat it the day that you get it. So the 8 hours from work, factor in, I'm gonna say, an hour of getting ready to go to and from work, or like let's say an hour total travel. Let's say you're one of those lucky people who work within 30 minutes of their job, and that's the most your commute takes. Okay, so that's an hour. That's 9 hours blocked off. You have to eat at some point. So let's say 30 minutes for breakfast, 30 minutes for dinner. I'm not even going to count prep time. I'll be nice and not count prep time. That's 10 hours. And then most people sleep 8 hours. So that's pretty much 18 hours of your day consumed by responsibilities and needs. So the other 6 hours of your day you've consumed doing nothing but video game. Now, I haven't addressed anything else outside of needs, such as you may have errands to do, you may have to work on projects, you might be in school and have schoolwork to do, things like that. But you're able to consume that 6 hours all in one sitting. You've dedicated pretty much a quarter of your day to gaming. Take a 10-hour game, okay? You might beat, that means that you'll beat it in 2 days. So you'll take a quarter of your day each day to beat that. 20-hour game. If you're that type of person that takes that quarter of the day to play, well, you're going to knock that 20-hour game out in probably 3 days, because you're probably going to take a couple of hours off from sleep to finish it. It's your consumption rate, people. It's not necessarily that these games are getting shorter or they don't give you enough. It's your consumption rate. Now, I won't go back and forth with the 6-hour argument because, okay, I'll agree just for this sake that 6 hours is not enough. But 10 hours or more, if you could beat a 10-hour or more game in 3 days or less, you're consuming way too much. It's like I've seen a buddy of mine's live stream and beat and platinum Bloodborne in about a week's time, probably less than a week. And that's a game that is considered very tough. It's going to take at least 30-40 hours. You can spend a lot more time on that, especially if you're going to do a platinum. You probably got to spend a good 80 to 100 hours on that. And he did that thing in about a week. So think about the amount of hours, and then think about what you do as an adult and what you have to do as a person. Think about how much time was spent just dedicating that video game to do that in a week. It's the consumption rate. It's not that the game is thin. It's not that the game doesn't have enough. A lot of times it's the way we consume things that makes it look less than it is. And I think that's why people also have this impatience when games get delayed, because they will run through everything that drops then, and then they don't want to wait for something else, because they effectively created a situation where they don't have anything to do because they've played everything and they've beaten it. And that's the problem to me. I'm glad that I'm a slowpoke these days and I don't run through games like I used to. Although I will say this, back in the day when I was a little kid, when we used to run through games, well, we didn't have that choice because mom and dad weren't going to go out and spend $40, $50, $60, $80 in a lot of cases in my era for the Nintendo and Sega era. They weren't going to spend that money on a new game. So what, you beat it that fast? Well, you shouldn't have beat it that fast. Play it again. And that's where we got used to playing games over and over again. And that's probably where the misconception of replayability was born, because what we used to do out of necessity, we don't necessarily have to these days. So when people throw in that this game has no replayability, I dispute that. All games have replayability. It's all about whether or not you want to play it again or not. But that's another topic. That's another argument all in itself. So just wanted to share that, some food for thought. Make you think, like, maybe your consumption rate is part of the problem why you're so impatient when games get delayed, or why you always feel like there's nothing out there to play. Back up a little, give yourself time to actually work on other things, perhaps pursue other interests outside of just gorging on gaming, and maybe you won't feel like you're being cheated or something from all these gaming companies. But anyway, as always, hit me up, let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Makers, and I'm out. Deuces.